Because then he has to rely on God alone to be able to deliver him. If a preacher is there, no, I can do it. I'll be the one. I'm the best. I can wow the crowd. I can catch their attention. He's the least qualified. Because he relies on his own strength. It is when we feel most incapable on doing the things of God that we are most capable. Why? Not I, but Christ. Galatians 2, not I, but Christ. And here Noah became complacent and he fell to the very same sins that they were happening before the flood. He became a drunkard. He was drunk. And we all know, the Bible says, do not get drunk with wine, for that is dissipation, but be filled with the Spirit. A lot of marriages are broken up because of drunkenness. 80,000 people in America die because of drunkenness. The fourth cause of suicide is drunkenness. Be it drunkenness or any other addiction. The Bible tells us in Isaiah 50, verse 11, woe to those who rise early in the morning that they may pursue strong drink. You know, uso na pala yung dati, di ba sa probinsya? Basta ay drive maga pa, nagtotomaan sa kalye. Ang walang maga pa, hindi kayo nagtatrabaho. During that time, may ganun na pala. Maga pa, naglalasing na. Who stays up late in the evening that wine may inflame them. There is this owner of this distillery. He said, when money is tight, their sales of hard liquor goes up. Pag taghirap, malakas ang bentahan ng beer at ng alak. People want to escape. They want to get out of reality, of their misery. So Noah was in a tent. Ganito pala itsura ng tent dati, more or less. And here, Noah became drunk. Pasensya na, madami pa mga and then PowerPoints and some videos, some photos. No, I realized something. No one is above temptation. Noah is one of those guys. He's one of our forefathers. Yet, he was tempted. He was a righteous man. He was blameless. And he walked with God. And yet what happened? He fell into sin. And you and I must realize no one can outgrow temptation. No matter how old you are. I mean, there's this old man and they were asked, Sir, you're so old. Do you still lust? And his answer was, I'm not dead. I'm old, but I'm not dead. No one is exempted. And the thing is, this experience of Noah is not unique. No matter who your spiritual idols is or are, they are tempted, from Noah to David to Solomon. And the thing is this, our past successes does not provide us the power for future victory. We cannot rely on past faithfulness. If we are to remain, we have to be faithful today. You know, I remember when I was a new Christian, I heard this pastor gives his story. Wow, I was so blessed. I'm so blessed by his faithfulness. 25 years after, I happened to sit with a pastor. He's giving a Bible study. Guess what? His illustration is the same. So, something's wrong. To me, something's wrong. Why is your illustration 25 years ago still the same incident? Because honestly, when we illustrate about God's faithfulness or our faithfulness to Him, man, it has to be recent to me. We cannot rely on our past faithfulness. We have to always be faithful today. And some of us, our only faithfulness is either of the past, we were faithful in the past, or we are faithful in just our mouths. None of us is ever past temptation. Noah, despite being a righteous man, despite walking with God, despite preaching righteousness for over 100 years, was still tempted. Verse 22 to 23, Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his two brothers outside. Again, interesting here. There is again a strong parallelism with Eden. Remember what happened in Eden? Eve saw the fruit and invited what? Adam. Here, Ham saw the nakedness of the father and invited his brothers. You would see, it's a strong parallelism. Even the words, even the actions are the same. Sabi nga nila, misery loves company. You do something wrong, you want somebody to join you in doing it. And here we see something interesting. That's always the case, be it a church family or a birth family. Those who are closest to us are those who will see our weakness. Those who are closest to us are those who will see our weakness. So, you might see a pastor and you're impressed, but once you live with him, you'll be disappointed. We'll be very disappointed. That's why it's important that we are not to focus on man. Because man will always disappoint us. Here, Ham saw the weakness of his father and saw the nakedness of his father. But Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it upon both their shoulders and walked backwards and covered the nakedness of their father, and their faces were turned away so that they did not see the father's nakedness. Now you ask yourself, what's so wrong? Because we know as we go through, we saw Noah cursed Canaan. What's so wrong seeing the father naked? Yes, it's wrong, but here it seems it's so wrong that it merits a curse from Noah. Not only that, it merits a curse not to Ham, but to Canaan. Canaan is the fourth child of Ham. Hindi man lang si Ham eh. What is so wrong? And if you look at scholars, they said that this idea of seeing the nakedness of the father could either mean Ham had a sexual relationship with the father. It's one of the theses. Second is that Ham castrated his father. And the basis there is, I think it's in verse 20, when he said, when Moses woke up, he knew what happened. But thirdly, the third assumption is Ham had a relationship with the mother. Or fourth, he just saw him naked. Ako personally, I take the position, and this is just my position among all three, that he went to bed with the mother. Why do I say that? Kasi nga kung accidentally yung nakita ang hubad ng tatay mo, ba't naman na-curse ang buong angkan mo? Right? Look at Leviticus chapter 20, verse 17. It says, If there is a man who takes his sister's father's daughter and his mother's daughter, and he sees her naked, and she sees his nakedness, this is a disgrace, and they shall be cut off in the sight of the sons of his people. He has uncovered his sister's nakedness. He bears his guilt. So the wording of seeing what? His nakedness and her nakedness connotes what? Going to bed. If you go to bed with your sister, that is a sin, basically. Now, but what could the meaning of the nakedness of the father? Because that's the nakedness of the sister. Now, let's look. Sorry. If there is a man who lies with his father's wife, so who's this? Who's the father's wife? The mother. And has uncovered his father's nakedness, both of them shall be put to death. Their blood guiltiness is upon them. So, he has uncovered. The father's nakedness is what? Lying with the mother. You got it? So here, when Noah or Moses, who wrote this, was saying this, that he saw his father's nakedness, here it means the father's nakedness, seeing one's father's nakedness, is going to bed with their mother. That's why Cain was cursed, because the belief is Cain was a kid brought about by this relationship. Kaya galit Canaan. Sorry, Canaan. Kaya galit na galit. So when Noah woke up from the wine, he knew what his younger son had done to him. Again, the wording. He knew what his son had what? Done. You remember in Genesis? What did God say? What have you done? He said that to Eve. And he said to the serpent, because you have done this. It's harking back to Eden. It's showing that the sin that happened in Eden, the patterns, was still existing now, despite the fact that God has given them a new chance, a clean slate, and mankind is falling under the same sin.